Cover up its mistakes. We already know it had no problem firing a school psychologist who blew the whistle on abuse and neglect in the special needs program. Well, tonight, we know it didn't stop there. Not on Your Side investigator Valerie Cavazos explains.
TUSD parents say the district lied to the feds during the follow-up investigation, and there's evidence to support that view.
Kathy Richmond's teenage son has schizophrenia. By law, that makes him eligible for special services. In 2009, his behavior spiraled out of control at Saguaro High, posing a threat to students, staff, and himself. Richmond begged the school to follow the written plan they developed for him, called an IEP.
They would purposely do just exact the opposite of what was on the behavior plan and wonder why it wasn't working well.
She complained to TUSD, but the problems persisted, and she's not alone. Kim Paris's daughter has a reading disability. Her IEP calls for her to get audio tapes of her textbooks, but Paris claims it never happened.
Every year for 4 years, nothing was done that was on her IEP. 5 nights out of the week, I sat there and read to Misha myself her books so that she could stay current in her classes. Without that, she would not have passed her classes.
And then there's Daniel Burkholder's daughter, diagnosed with mild mental retardation. Burkholder complained that Rincon High School bungled her evaluation and then failed to follow her IEP.
I swept her under the rug, basically, swept us both under the rug. Just ignored our complaints entirely.
All except Dr. Rose Hamway, a school psychologist. Hamway fought for these and 11 other families like them. And finally, she blew the whistle to the Federal Department of Education, specifically the Office of Civil Rights. The feds found TUSD to be in violation and told the district to fix it. TUSD signed an agreement promising to do that. It then sent out meeting notices like this one Richmond received, promising that a federal representative would be there. Richmond jumped at the chance to tell her story.
She acted like she was, CR representative.
Turns out the person Richmond poured her heart out to, Dr. Gail Bornfield, was not a federal employee. In fact, she was an independent contractor working for the other side, the target of the complaints, TUSD. Bornfield later wrote reports spelling out her findings that Richmond calls a pack of lies.
She's completely turning what I said around. I told her what had happened, and it's not reflected in this paper at all.
9 on Your Side obtained the report. Sure enough, it doesn't even mention Richmond's complaints. What it does do lets TUSD off the hook completely. The 2 other parents, Paris and Burkholder, never even got a chance to tell their sides of the story. Both say TUSD deliberately tried to pull a fast one by scheduling meetings on short notice to make sure they didn't show up.
They set the meeting for 4/27/2011, and they sent it out for 4/26/2011. So how am I going to get something that goes out at 5 o'clock in the afternoon to show up for something at 8 o'clock in the morning for a meeting?
I called Bornfield. She refused to talk to me.
I really have no comment on that.
Dr. Hamway, the whistleblower, claims TUSD does a better job covering its tracks than trying to do what's right.
There has been no attempt through TUSD administration to address what really happened to each of those children. It'll go away. And I believe they've counted on that.
Superintendent John Petticone denies that. In September, he assured me,
in every case, the district did what was right with those students, either at the time it was found to have no findings or concerns, or later on, if there was a concern, it was taken care of.
But the parents don't buy it, and neither does the staff. Some TUSD employees say the neglect continues. They asked us not to show their faces out of fear of retaliation.
The actions continue, and the students are not being protected, and neither are the employees.
And you see this?
I see this.
I report things and nothing gets done about it.
Now they're hoping the feds do their job to make it right.
Kathy Richmond was not the only parent confused about who Bornfield was working for. And to clear up the confusion, the feds sent a letter to parents saying it had no connection to Dr. Bornfield and said it's investigating. Valerie Cavazos, KGUN-9 on Your Side.